Hey, dog lovers. Dog, Diamonds of God. Join me on the Alpough Show, the human spirit experiment, where we'll be talking about dogs on YouTube right now. Welcome to Alpough. Welcome to those. I haven't gone live in a while. And I want to welcome everyone who's coming in now and who's going to be coming in later. Who's going to watch us. Today, we're going to be talking about dog. Dog, Diamond of God. If you're a dog lover, you know that dogs are just absolutely one of the greatest little people that you can have with you. And it's with great sadness, with great joy of having lost my two dogs. And I want to talk a little bit about them. And we're going to be talking two stories of two dogs. Two dogs that are in my life. If you've ever had a dog or a pet, this is dedicated to us. And today we're going to be talking about Izzy, where is my little girl? Izzy. And also we're going to be talking about Bella. The Bella, who came into our life. Before we do, I have some questions, some things that seem to come up as we always have this issue about our animals. Do they have souls? Do dogs go on? Some say yes, some say no. Do animals think? Do animals feel pain? And of course, my answer is they go on, they think, and of course, they feel pain. Now, in this story of these two, one we set free and one left on her own. So I'm going to start off with Bella. Bella was just one of those sweet dogs that came into our life about 4.5 years ago. My stepdaughter found her in a kennel. She had been on the streets. No one knows how long, but she'd been on the street for quite a while. And her father, Ray, he had cancer. And so she got Bella to come in and give him some peace. And Bella is a quiet, very quiet spirit, Bella is. If you look at her, her eyes are so revealing on where her life had come from. Unfortunately, Ray passed and Bella needed a home. And so for about the last 4 years, we had Bella. And what a joy she was. She didn't bark. She was always quiet, like she didn't want to make any trouble. And she was always so excited to run. And just being around her was such a pleasure. Bella was estimated to be 15 years old when we got her. And She made it almost to 20 years old, which is incredible for a dog. Now, to see her at the end was very tough because she started to weaken and her body just gave out. But what we did was we just loved on her and loved on her. And I've never been one to want to take a dog in and give them the shot. But this was that time for my sweet Bella. And it seems funny because at the end, they seemed to be talking to me. And I could tell she was trying to say to me that she was ready to go. And I understood that. And so in this instance, we had to take her in. And we all said goodbye to her. And she was set free. And that's how I feel about it. We set her free. And there's the joy of giving freedom out of that body of hers. Of course, we miss her. Absolutely. And she was an older dog. And she brought the joy, even in the short time that she was with us. So to Bella, we know you're still around. I want to talk about this a little bit later. But I want to share with you the story while I even have your attention. Now, the next one is who's up here. And that is Isabella. And Izzy was known as, well, everybody knew her as Daddy's little girl. She was with me for almost 16 years. And we were together every moment of every day. I worked at home and she was always next to me. So our relationship culminated over a decade. And Izzy was different. Izzy was the one who actually ruled the house. So their personalities were totally different. Bella was more of, I want to get along with everyone. We also have 2 cats. Izzy, on the other hand, literally ran the house. Anyone who knew me, and if you've ever met Izzy, you knew that my whole life centered around her. I had no children, and so some of us out there who have not had children usually are pets, the ones who are our children. And without a doubt, Izzy ruled me, and I didn't mind at all. The most unfortunate thing that happened to her was on January, the 4th, she got sick, and her pancreas went out. And this was in 2019. And Izzy, all of a sudden, lost her sight, and she became deaf. And by the way, Bella did also towards the end of her life. To be blind and not be able to hear is devastating for anybody, but for a dog, it's like being trapped. Now I looked it up, and dogs who get this, their average lifespan is about 6 months. And yet, Izzy went 18 months. And the reason why was because of me. And of course, Tracy, but she was always enthusiastic still, smiling. Because now it was about smell. Izzy, when we go walking. But now, we always went walking anyway. We had a park that was across the street. And we would walk. I would carry her out there in my arms and just set her down. And before you know it, she started running. And I was running with her. 3 times a day we'd go out there. So our life was surrounded by Izzy. She had to have a shot at 7 in the morning, be fed, and then again 7 at night. So our whole life was surrounded by Izzy for 18 months in the sense that we had to take care of her every day. But what pleasure it was to have her. Now this right here is right about a couple weeks before she passed. I went to go take her to the vet to remove some of her teeth. And by the way, the vet bill was atrocious. I had 2 teeth to take out of her and they charged me $2,300. Now, Izzy being the thinker and always the positive, I could tell, was disappointed because I believe she thought I was going to give her her sight. And so she was perfectly fine, except for her condition. So a couple of weeks passed, and of course, she's still going out all the way to her last day. Izzy went to the park and she ran. Now, again, there's so many positive things I'm going to go on here, but what happened was she smelled the dog and was chasing the dog, trying to get to the dog, blind and deaf. I had to literally hold her on her leash. And so, but then suddenly she sat down and just started kind of looking around as if she was saying goodbye to the park. Again, at the end, you could almost hear them talking, and I could tell she was tired. And I held her almost all night, and I set her in her bed. And that morning, when I got up just a few hours later, she had left her body. She had went out on her own terms, which is just like her. Daddy's little girl. I honor all who've ever had an animal. It's not just about dogs. All animals are diamonds of God. I've always said, animals are our greatest teachers. So to all who has ever loved an animal, I honor you. And I know a lot of us here lately have lost our animal, our dogs, our cats. And it's even tougher in these times of COVID. So what I learned from dogs, I would always say to my friends, she's my greatest teacher. But how's that? Well, I'm going to give you some. See, first of all, they're very sensitive to you. Once a cat or a dog bonds to you, they live for you. When she's living for me, and I'm living for her. What else? Animals, dogs, cats, they live in the moment. And that's what she taught me. To live in the moment. To be present. Dogs don't think about the past. They think about the now. Now. Also, patience. I could see the patience in her eyes. I could see it in Bella's eyes. She taught me patience. Also, dogs are very protective of the ones they love. They literally would give their life for the person that they are bonded to. Dogs are very giving. Hey, let's go for a walk. Hey, let's talk. It's almost sometimes, if you've ever had an animal, they start to learn your language. And it's my understanding, research has found out that they can distinguish between languages. So are they not smart? Yeah, they're very smart. The thing is, they make you laugh. When I saw Izzy or Bella in the morning, always a big, bright smile. They make you laugh, and they also make you cry when you lose them. What I miss most is the love that's in their eyes. You see it. If you ever have a pet, if you never had one, there's so many that need to be saved out of the kennels. And there's so much fun to be around. I have more fun with her than I had with any human I've ever been with. The one thing about, if you're not exercising, dogs are great for exercise. No matter what, you have to walk them, and you get the exercise. So in the end, they walk you. To walk around and let people see Izzy brought me so much joy, because people, when they saw her, they just lit up. And they could also see the light in my eyes. So I want to hear your stories. Please put it in the comments whenever you see this. You had a pet, what they did for you. And when you want to live in the moment, please appreciate the dogs you have, the cats you have. You never know how long they're going to be here. Every single person I know who's ever lost their pet has always said it wasn't long enough. I want to keep the party going. So on this day, Bella, Izzy, thank you. Thank you for bringing joy in my life. And in honor of all of us who've lost, we thank you. You're our dogs, our cats, who've given us life. I walk around Maricopa, I walk around my neighborhood, I see elders walking their dog. We've been here many years now. And so a lot of our dogs, you see us walking, people used to always see me walking. Then all of a sudden, no one saw me for a long time. And it wasn't easy to walk the neighborhood. And I had to work through that. And unfortunately now, Bella's no longer with us also. I believe we'll get another dog because there's so many that need joy. And if you have not had a dog in your life or a cat, you have no idea what you're missing. Man and animal are one. Man and animal are one. Do dogs go on? Oh, you better believe it. Do animals think? You better believe it. Do animals have love in their eyes? You better believe it. So on this day, as the tough times we're in, there is nothing like having a sweet dog. If you're alone, get a dog, get a cat. Depending on your schedule, both works out. But be prepared for a dog because they are 24 hours a day and they need to know that you're always there. Because like you, they're emotional. They miss you. They miss those times. And they can't wait to see you. So I'm going to end this now and just say, I love you all. And for those who love dogs and cats, keep going. A couple comments. Amanda, thanks for coming in. Animals have souls just like us. They do. I know I've had many discussions with people who say animals do not go on. Well, then you haven't been around one long enough. That's all I'm going to say. You just haven't been around. Now, hold on here. See, when animals die, they go back to mother. The Holy Spirit takes her, brings her back home. But now I want to leave you with this. They can decide to stay with you. So if you lost your animal, don't be surprised if they're right next to you and you don't even know it. Me, I'm psychic. Some say psycho, but I'm very sensitive to spirit. And I know Isabella is with me. And so is Bella. So be aware, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is think about them. And you just might hear them. saying, I love you. Just because we have higher intelligence does not give us the right to enslave them or eat them, for that matter. Okay. Thank you for speaking for the animals who cannot talk. Right. Right. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. I'll be talking about being an adult of my body. Tune in tomorrow. Until then, may you be blessed. And bless all the dogs and cats.